What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AUTOBAHN. My name is Max, and today you join me at the Autobahn. It is 7:30 at night, in the evening I should say, so that should mean that the worst of the traffic at the Autobahn is done, and we've got the Maserati Granturismo Folgore for the second time, courtesy of Maserati. So big thanks to them for arranging this, because we drove this car for the first time in February, and the weather was just absolutely horrible and super wet and slippery and cold, so we couldn't do top speed because we had the winter tires as well. And today we've got the same car, but we've got Pirelli P0 tires, so that means that we can do the actual top speed of the car, which is 325 kilometers an hour, which is amazing. Now check out my first review of this car in the top right corner I made back in February. I actually really like this car. I know that a lot of you don't care for electric cars, but as far as they go, this is a pretty incredible one. Now I'm not going to repeat the review, so I do recommend checking out that video. Even though it is in the wet, you still see what this car is capable of, maybe even more because it's wet. So I'll do a quick recap. We've got one electric motor at the front and then two electric motors at the rear, with an open diff that sends power to both front wheels. And at the rear you've got one electric motor per side. Basically that also means that you have torque vectoring. Each of these motors are capable of delivering 400 horsepower. So in theory you would have up to 1200 horsepower in this car, but the battery pack can only deliver 761, so that is the power you've got, but it still has 1350 newton meters of torque, which is kind of nuts. I also feel like it's just one of the most gorgeous coupes you can buy right now. It has that same classic Gran Turismo look, just modernized a bit. So normally I would say 2300 kilos is what this car weighs. You've got a top speed of 325. That is a lot of mass to slow down at that speed. Maybe go for ceramics, but I don't think you can get those on this car. However, I have used this car properly over the last few days. These brakes, they work. They are really good. They slow the car right down. Pedal feel is good, nice and aggressive. I like that. And the transition from regen to actual braking, like pad on disc, is very good. It has an 800 volt battery, so you can charge up to 270 kilowatts. Now, as usual, this is all very conditional, so it has to be the perfect conditions, perfect battery temperature, perfect, you know, moon phase, whatever. But at least when you have a quick charger, it will charge up very quickly. But today we're here to find out what the actual top speed is of the Folgore, or at least try to get there. So first we're going for Corsa mode, which gives you a battery temperature gauge over there, and we're going to go to drive. We're going to driving mode, and then we have a couple settings that you get in Corsa. Number one is we're going to go to performance optimization or whatever, click max boost. So you have max boost for optimum performance and endurance for high performance during longer distances. So this is for track use basically. Max boost is for right now, which is engaged, and then we should be able to, yeah, okay. So then we have launch control. Then we can also engage the flux capacitor and the warp drive. So this is torque vectoring. We want that in agile, so the rear really starts moving around, and the traction control is in pro. And then you can go one step further by turning off the traction control altogether right there. But we're going to keep it on for now, because I have a feeling that this might be the quickest way to launch it, to have a slight hint of traction control. So I charged it up at a charger back in the Netherlands, just across the border, and then I, well, crawled here at 90 kilometers an hour just to have the most range possible, the highest range possible, the highest percentage of battery. So I've got 93% to try and you know, maximize performance. And there we have my proper gap. So we're going to do a measurement as well. 0 to 100, quarter mile, whatever we can get. Engage launch control. Start. And there we go. That's a 3-second 0 to 100. 6 to 100 to 200. Quarter mile 10.7. Look at that, look at this thing go. That's past 300 already. Holy moly. That's proper performance. I think that was the limiter. Look at these brakes, by the way, guys. That's 334, slowing down to 200. That's proper braking performance. But it was stuck at 334, and that is what I hit yesterday as well. All right, so I'm just going to gun it. Picks up really well. You've got a nice sound in here. That's a 6.9, 100 to 200. It is quick. I'll give him that. 315, 320. Holy moly! So I'm guessing that's the top speed. Slow down a little bit, do another 100 to 200 over here. We're going to get off. Brakes are seriously good. I mean, that's 2,300 kilos you're trying to slow down. Handling also very good. Super agile front end, and then you just hit those well, you hit the two electric motors in the rear basically, and the thing just shoots off. It's very impressive. And then you've got like proper power going to the rear, so you can also see the temperature over there. I hope you guys can see that, but it's just above the optimal range. So we're going to cruise for a bit, get that temperature down a bit. Boom. So yeah, I don't think the performance will get any better, because I just think that it works best with the most amount of battery. So max boost just turned off. I mean, it's still very quick, not as quick as before. So the battery temperature just shoots up doing this. It's also what is it, like 25, 24 degrees outside. So if you do this when it's a little bit colder outside, you might have more luck. So that was a mix of what I recorded yesterday and today. I wanted to do it again today with higher battery percentage, just to see what that feels like. That feels good. Oh, I wanted to shift gears. So you can use the pedals to increase or decrease the amount of regen you get from the brakes, which actually works pretty well. Anyway, sound check. Downshift. That's very weird. Muscle memory. So that brings me to my biggest drawback, or my biggest irritation with this car, with performance electric performance cars in general, is that it's all very conditional, right? So it really depends on the circumstances, on the temperature, on, you know, your car's mood. It's very, very circumstantial. It's not like with a petrol car that you just fill it up and just floor it and it will do steady, consistent 100 to 200 times, 0 to 100. It doesn't work like that. You need proper juice to do it. And when you overheat the battery, like I've done now, or not overheat, but it's not the optimal temperature anymore, performance just goes down. But yeah, you can see the 100 to 200, it just goes down with every run. So what you end up with is a car that is seriously impressive. It handles really well. It's got great tech. You've got all these gauges, which, yeah, I know it's childish, but still I kind of like it. You have the torque distribution over there as well. You can slide it around. It feels like it's been set up by proper car lovers. It's got some FE tech, so Formula E tech. For the first time, I actually feel like that is justified. Like the claim, I believe them, because it feels really good. The power delivery is great. The braking performance is great. The regen is great. The torque factoring. It's just been set up to have fun, and I love that. So that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, you know, electric and performance, I don't really feel like they match, and I would still rather have the Trofeo version of this car. However, there are very few electric cars that make me smile like this one, and I feel like that's also worth something. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.